Hello and good morning. Today we are going to review the data overview for Lilburn Elementary School's milestone scores over 3rd through 5th grade, specifically looking at how students performed in English language arts. We will specifically look at the scores between female and male students and the scores between disabled and non-disabled students. We will also glance at our students' attendance to infer if there's a correlation or not between the data. My name is Natalie Zelada. I'm a 2nd grade teacher here at Lilburn Elementary School, and I will be giving this presentation today. The purpose of this presentation is to review the assessment scores and how they changed over the course of a 3-year period. We will also review reading scores for our 3rd through 5th grade students, specifically looking into their gender and their ability or disability. Lastly, we will be identifying possible causes for low achievement within these subgroups, as well as identifying strengths that our students show. There are questions that we can consider as well as we go through the presentation. Some of them include questions such as, what are the current strengths of our students regarding English language arts? What are some of their weaknesses? And how can teachers use this data to effectively support students within the subgroups of gender and ability? Let's begin by talking about what the milestones assessments are and why they are important to our school. According to the Georgia Department of Education, the Georgia Milestones Assessment System, or the Georgia Milestones, is a comprehensive summative assessment program spanning grades 3 through high school. The Georgia Milestones measure how well the students have learned and the knowledge and skills outlined in the state-adopted content standards in English language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies. We use this assessment to show how much content the students have learned, indicating their preparedness for upcoming grades, and allowing teachers to use these scores to improve their own teaching practices. In this first graph, we can see the percentage of students enrolled at Lilburn Elementary grouped by race or ethnicity in the school years 2015 through 2018. It is very clear in this graph that our school has a high majority Hispanic population, over 60% in all 3 years. This percentage is followed by Asian and African American students, both hovering around 12 to 13% all 3 years. Then white students, steadily at 6% all 3 years, are followed by a multiracial group at 2% for all 3 years. I show this data because students' backgrounds affect how they perform in school, how they learn, and what kind of expectations they have when approaching a testing environment. The next graph shows the students at our school who qualify for other subgroups, such as English proficiency, the eligibility for free and reduced lunches, disabilities, immigration status, and gender. Each of these subgroups were included because, as with race, a student's background affects their testing performance, how they learn, and the student's expectations for what they will experience in a testing environment. Both of these graphs may show important information that could affect scores, or that could help teachers improve in their own teaching methods. At our school, we have a significantly large majority of white teachers, as we can see from this graph. Though our numbers of white teachers has slightly declined, they are still the high majority. Next, African American and Hispanic teachers follow, with Asian and multiracial closely behind. This can also affect how students learn at our school, as we know the majority of our students are Hispanic and are being taught by the majority of white teachers. Our teachers are also significantly more female than male, as all 3 years of data show. This is important to know as our students are fairly even split between male and female, and this can affect how our male students learn with a majority of female teachers. Our teachers also carry many years of experience with them. Most of our teachers have been teaching between 1 and 20 years. However, more and more first-year teachers are being hired, while the 1 to 10-year experienced teachers are slowly decreasing. We have, however, gained more teachers with 21 to 30 or even more years experience. This could benefit our children, as experienced teacher may better understand how to relate to the students and teach them in an effective way. Student data also shows that our school's 3rd through 5th graders have only slightly improved over the course of 3 years, females and males respectively. However, the data also shows that male students frequently score lower than our female students do. The majority, though slight, of students at the beginning level of understanding are male, whereas the majority, again slight, of those students who are at a distinguished level are female. This can be for several reasons, but might lead one to question why such a discrepancy exists among our male and female students. Next is our attendance between genders. Attendance is imperative to review since a student who is not at school cannot be taught the school material. Attending school allows students to be exposed to a learning environment and allows the students the opportunity to learn important information that they may be tested on later. On this graph, we can see that attendance has improved over the course of 3 years. In 1718 and 1516, male students were more than 15 days absent more frequently than female students. Yet in 1617, there was a slight increase in females that missed more than 15 days of school. Our data today includes the achievement of students with disabilities, or abilities as I like to say, and comparing them with non-disabled students. It is easy to see the difference, as the disabled students are more frequently It is easy to see the difference as the disabled students more often receive a beginning level than the non-disabled students. This data is important to consider, especially as we place high expectations on students with different abilities and how we address their needs so that they can do well on these kinds of assessments. Along with these scores, it's important to see the attendance of the students who have disabilities and compare it to those without disabilities. As you can see, absences are fairly equal between the two groups. However, we can also see an increase of students with disabilities and students without disabilities be absent for more than 15 days starting in the 17-18 school year. Students who are absent for 5 or less days, however, decreased between 2015 and 2018. The following data table has many numbers on it, but it helps viewers to compare our school's data with the state and the county. As you can see, our school has a high percentage, 40.6%, of students scoring at a beginning level in 2015 and 2016. This shows that the state and the county had both outperformed us. However, our scores increased the following years, which caused our beginning level student percentages to drop to 24.7% and 31.0%, which are nearly equal to the state and county percentages, and in some cases even better. Our school's distinguished level percentages, though lower than the state and county, have improved over the years as well, showing growth on our part, although we have a long way to go to show for third grade scores in our school, but our school is steadily improving. This next graph shows fourth grade scores and compares the percentages among our school, the county, and the state. Our school, too, has decreased in the number of students performing at a beginning level over the course of 3 years. Though we decreased slightly in our distinguished level percentages between 15-16 and 16-17, our students skyrocketed and nearly doubled the percentages of distinguished levels. As you can see, they jumped from 7.4 all the way to 13.9. In almost every area, we underperformed the state and county, but we have improved in our own scores over the years. Last are our fifth grade scores. We gained more beginning level percentages over the course of 3 years, though slightly improving between 16-17 and 17-18, going from 27.5% to 37.1% and then back to 28.6% at a beginning level. Our distinguished level has increased, however, showing improvement in our data. We do perform lower than the state and county in these areas, though. After reviewing the data, we can surmise that the strengths within our data include the following points. The enrollment at our school is fairly consistent, with our numbers being around the same throughout all 3 years. Our schools are steadily increasing in ELA based on gender and ability over the years. And we are increasing in our experienced teachers as well, with 11 to 20 years of experience increasing the most. There are some areas of weaknesses that we should be aware of moving forward, and they are that our student absences, as they increase, teachers with 21 or more years of experiences are slowly decreasing in percentage, and our male students and our students with disabilities continue to score lower than our female students and our students without disabilities. Now that we have looked through and analyzed our data, and we have identified some strengths and weaknesses, we can now look over a few questions that we can discuss in a group. First is, how can we improve school attendance? Next, how can we equip our teachers to better support our male students? Lastly, how can we equip our teachers to better support our students with special needs? After you've had a chance to discuss these questions with your group, then we can discuss some next steps that we can take so as to improve our school and scores. Some that I have included are that we should get our special education teachers and our general education teachers to partner together to help our students with needs in both environments. This can ensure that our students are reaching their goals and learning as much as possible from both educators. Next, we can use the data previously shown in these slides to create a safe and open discussion about the performance of male and female students. Last, we can discuss how to collect our data so that we can show how we grow. Finally, if there are any other questions, comments, or concerns, please reach out to me so we can discuss this matter further. Thank you so much for your time and your participation today. I hope you have a great rest of your day.